Okay, what's... Hmm.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie Presents. I am, of course, Shae the Red, and off to this way we have my asshole co-host, Alex. How are you doing, Alex?
I am doing completely and utterly awesome,
That
except for dealing with you.
sounded so genuine.
It is. Well, I've got someone outside the house sitting there thinking that they're in some kind of hot rod when it's just a pickup truck, and I've got another one of my roommates outside that's apparently having some kind of seizure or epileptic fit or something. So the usual.
Yeah, love where you live. It's fucking horrible. So we're here with this absolutely amazing duo from Pulpstar Comics. We have Juliana. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm quite warm. I'm definitely not going to be getting cold anytime soon.
Love the mask.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Functional mask, because that's how we do shit around here. But we're going to keep that off because it definitely messes with my green screen. Oh my goodness. And we have Somjai. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yay!
An amazing thing you did with the mask. You even got the details to
Oh yeah.
down to the nick on that nose plate and that crack. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
You can
pretty
ask Sai.
cool.
I sat here for 2.5 days trying to mold this thing and cussing a lot. A lot.
And then like 6 layers of paint later.
Yeah, and then it
there we
looked kind of like the mask, almost.
No, it looks good. Really.
Thank you. Thank you
Details
very
are
much.
there. Wow, it's
Yeah, you
crazy.
had you had a really, really cool reference, and I had to do what I could to try and bring it to life, because that's kind of our shtick here. Is I do like shitty cosplay, but every now and then I find something and I'm like, okay, but I want that one to be good though. So that is what I've attempted to do. So I'm glad that the artist appreciates it. Otherwise, I'd cry.
No, we do. I mean, you're pretty much the first person to do a costume based on our
Yes!
comic. You're the first. Wow.
Oh, I love being the first cosplayer.
I
It's
feel-
awesome.
Give it to you. Yeah, it's very
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. A few days ago on a stream, you were just sitting there cutting out the kind of a
the
template
paper?
for it.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Out of
I
paper.
literally printed out your like cover, and then I tried to resize it so it would like actually kind of fit my face but kind of keep the proportions. And then I was trying to cut it out, and I was like, how the fuck do people make paper masks? This makes no sense. Like, I'm sitting here cussing and trying to tape. I was like, screw it, I'm starting over. And then I'm just cutting it out of foam. Like, I'll just figure it out as I go.
But it's very nice. It's really very nice.
I'm very
Love
glad that you like it. That makes me so happy. So for anyone who doesn't know, because this, y'all did, and I don't know what is up. Everyone is doing soft launches where they're like, they launch, and then a couple days later they're like, by the way, we have an Indiegogo. And everyone's like, wait, what the hell? What did you, and you're like, oh, we just kind of, we just
We
kind of
hit the go live
it.
button.
Yeah, we got excited, so we went live. That you guys are one of the like many that have been doing that lately and driving all the rest of us YouTubers insane because it's hard to keep up with. But you guys have this absolutely gorgeous looking book called Automartyr, and definitely cannot say that 3 times fast. You guys are 77% funded with 25 days left. I want to hear about this world that you guys have created, because this just looks insane. So, who's giving the pitch? Is it Somjai or is it Juliana?
Somjai is gonna go for this one.
Okay, if it's about the world, well, the world of Automartyr, it's divided into various hive colonies. So each hive, it has its own layers and zones for the different classes of denizens living in it. So most of the self-sustaining colonies in Hive Absalom in this story, some of the others are different. So there's actually a penal colony for the hardcore criminals, and another that's run by human servitors and machines to serve the other hives as a source for manufacture. There will be references made to one hive that was destroyed in a war. Our protagonist, Black Soul, was a part of years earlier.
Oh yeah,
So,
the
basically
666.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
So the hive world is actually post-apocalyptic. So this after mankind sort of like killed each other, and then there's escapees. So we created this world, right, where everyone is like living in mountains, but they're like almost like different countries. So they each have their like different rulers and their different systems. But within each system, right, but the class divide is very clear. So in Hive Absalom itself, right, you see that there are 3 layers. So the pinnacle is reserved for the autocrats, and all the high-end people. And then there is a very, very large percentage, right, like 90% of the population that jammed up in the pit. And then we have the sump as well, which is where that's the bottom feeders. So the class distinction is very, very obvious in the hive world. And like hive life is really difficult because of the limited resources, and everything is recycled. And so there are real wars, even within the factions, right, in the pit. So it's a very, very tough life in there. And this is where we follow Black Soul, because he's created together with the 666 for a purpose that he has to fulfill. But after the 666 got wiped out, and he's one of the sole survivors, Black Soul loses that purpose, and he finds himself trapped, right? So he's actually trapped in Hive Absalom, and he's trying to escape that. But you find that as the story unfolds along the way, you find that Black Soul is trapped within himself as well. So there's a lot, he's trapped in his own head. And he's trying to find that purpose, right? And you find that it's kind of crushing him in the process while he's trying to escape. So that's pretty much the story of Black Soul. But of course, as he moves along the hive, right, you see all these weird and wonderful characters that he meets along the way. He makes friends with some of them, right? And then he battles some of them, but he's constantly like in action mode. So you kind of feel sorry for Black Soul, because there's really very little downtime for him. But you find that his purpose is actually very, very simple, okay? And I think it's something that we can all identify with, but yet it's so unattainable, right? So he's kind of like a guy you're rooting for because he's like literally battling the whole planet, and yet he's alone, and he's just looking for something so simple, right? But he might or might not get.
He might or might not get. I like how you're like,
yeah,
maybe.
We have to keep it open. Yeah.
We don't know. So basically he's kind of like a crazy assassin that is, when you have like, anytime you have those wars, especially in really remote places, and the word doesn't necessarily get to everyone that like, hey guys, the war's over. Like we're done fighting now, and they're still like going at it because that's what they've known for so long. And he's almost like I'm the only one left. I'm the last one to complete our mission. I have to, because it's all riding on me.
Correct. But the worst part is he sees the purpose is created for, and the world that he's supposed to create, right, is not exactly what was promised in the first place. So he gets disappointed, and he's very disenfranchised, right, on so many fronts. Right. So he's actually a struggling soul, although very, very, very badass and very powerful.
Oh jeez.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And I gotta say, like, the details that you have in these like cityscapes and stuff, this is insane. Like, you can see individual pipes all the way back. Like in the very, very far vanishing point, you're still seeing all these little tiny details and everything that you've drawn up here, and it's just insane the level of detail that you have in this.
Yeah. So at the back, right, what you see, that the very faint line, that's actually the monolith. So that's actually the main conduit, right, that connects the hive. So it's actually quite a complex road and secret passages and the not so secret passages. Yeah. So that's how the levels are interconnected. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I gotta say, I've stared at this I don't know how many times. This is the first time I've seen the 4 people hanging. Like I didn't even notice them. Like it's just so seamlessly integrated, and everything's so like kind of grungy and gritty, and like you were saying, post-apocalyptic. And so it didn't even register what that was until I actually just looked at it now, because I was looking at all the detail in the back and I went, oh my gosh, those are bodies. Like, oh, those poor people. They were probably bad.
It's the reason why we opted for the black and white treatment. I mean, the contrasty lighting and shadows, it lets us add more details into the art. I mean, initially we experimented with close to say nine or 10 different render styles from ones with a wider range of colors to those with a more limited palette. But black and white, it lets us do more without the details looking like clutter or less. It helps bring out those details and make it pop.
Yeah, and I imagine that they don't get as lost as they would in a fully colored version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those books where it's like, please don't ever color this, because the way that you have the effects and like just the way that it kind of sets the scene, it feels kind of like Sin City almost, where like it just works better black and white. Like the way that you have this super bright light coming from the monolith and everything's like, it's just so pure. It's such a pure white that it really sells this, like when you're walking down in an alleyway and you look up and the sun kind of is beaming behind something and it takes a second for your eyes to adjust. Like, that's what this scene is, and it's so freaking beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
And of course, I love your guys' design of your characters, because you have, if you're looking here and you're seeing like all of these people just kind of crammed around, you've got, people selling guns, you got this dog with a robo leg. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, he has the cutest robo leg too, and he's over itching his ear. That's adorable. But like all of the little, you just have so much little detail. Like this guy obviously has a cybernetic eye. She's got some tattoos going here. Like the detail on this is absolutely insane. This is crazy. If you haven't backed this, you really need to. Oh my goodness. All right. I want to go through your tiers, and so people know how they can back you. So, who's going to cover this one?
I'll do it. I mean,
all right. So you got a $25 tier. Tell us what we get with that.
Well, it's book one. Book one is a 28-page black and white comic, priced at 25 Singapore dollars, which is it 19
about 19
USD?
Yeah, about
right.
$19.
So that covers the cost for producing it, printing, as well as shipping it to most places worldwide. We're more focused on the content for the comic series because
so basically we have very few perks as you go along our how you can back us. So it's pretty much content driven. You can support us by ordering the comic book, and we priced it such that it covers production and shipping, and that's it. So nothing really comes to us because we are based in Singapore. So I think the audience in Singapore is small, so we're actually trying to reach you guys and a much wider audience. So that covers that. Yeah, we also have a poster because, at least I think the artwork is amazing for the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I was like, how do you do that from pen and pencil, right? Like, wow.
It's just beautiful. Like, because normally when I'm going through these comics and I'm trying to pick a cosplay, I pick something that isn't going to be like super labor intensive. I usually pick something that I'm like, I could probably throw that together in an afternoon. And I stared at this one. I didn't even look at anything else. Like, I scrolled and went, I'm making the mask. And Alex was like, yeah, sure. I was like, I'm making the mask. I'm doing it. I don't even know how, but we're doing it.
You did an absolutely amazing job.
I'm glad that you guys like it. And so I wholeheartedly agree. You need the poster in your life.
Yeah, exactly. So the poster comes in 2 sizes. So you have a smaller one in A3. So it comes unfolded. It comes packed with the book. And it'll arrive in your mailbox. And then we have the larger size, which is the A1 size, and it will come rolled up in the, what do you call that? The tubey thingy.
Oh yeah, the tube mailers.
In your mailbox. So that's, in terms of perks, that's pretty much what we have, because we would like people to actually get the book and perhaps display the artwork, because it's amazing. And hopefully, as we move on to book 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because this is a 6-part series,
right?
Then we might add on more. Like, I realized on Indiegogo, I observed that I think pins and badges and stickers are very popular. Yeah, but
we'll probably
do
patches, that. But that's probably a me thing. No, we actually have jackets that we had made up with our channel logo on the back as a giant patch, and then we're collecting patches from all of these indie books and stuff, and we're putting them all over, kind of like motorcycle jackets or like military vests and stuff like that. So honestly, an Automartyr patch would be amazing, because this is such a cool look, and I like even the font that you guys chose, that's like super minimalist for the title, is super eye-catching and interesting to look at.
So we will make all those stuff as we go along, but for now, I think our focus is on the artwork in the book.
Yeah, it makes sense for the first ones to kind of go more minimalist, to make sure that you work out all the kinks of a campaign first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you said the A3 size is going to be the poster will be folded.
No, it will not be.
Oh,
so you get it as
unfolded.
Yeah. So you can just put it up without those horrible lines on it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I hate that. And the horrible thing too is a lot of people don't know this, but because being a girl, Juliana, I'm sure that you're like, I can fold things. Like, that's easy. I can match up corners and fold it in a nice crease. But when you do it by hand, you split the ink. When you do it, like, you have to get a folding machine that will gently fold it so the ink doesn't split. And it's such a freaking pain to get. And so many people don't do that. They run their nail across to get a nice crisp crease, and then you open it up and you're like, oh, all the artwork is ruined. I can't even display this now.
No, it'll come as a flat pack A3 size. Yeah.
That's perfect. That is awesome. And then you have them, they're going to be matte print, which is I think probably the best way to display everything, because you have so many details. When you get too much gloss on there, you start to lose lines in the light. And so I definitely matte, or I would say at most going like a luster kind of print would be like the farthest I would go. I would never go full gloss with any of this artwork, because it's too gorgeous. There's too much to look at, for sure. Okay, so you also have, for $112 US, you get a thank you card on top of.
It's which the team and myself will write on and sign off. It's more of a you have our eternal gratitude kind of like thank you card, man. So for those who got this, I mean, I'm gonna thank you here too. If you're watching this, thank you for the generous support.
Absolutely.
So what we've done is we've created this dialog box within the thank you card. So your name will be printed in. Black Soul is actually going to use your name in the dialogue
Yes.
box. So your names will kind of appear like on a comic spread in the thank you card as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of neat. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. All right, and then you had someone claim this too, which is
Yes,
amazing.
The Pulpstar pack. I mean, this perk, it was designed to be the ultimate swag badge for the backer will can appear in book 2 as a mutie or hive denizen or even a hired gun attempting to take Black Soul down.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you never know as to who will do it. We just put it out there and wow, it actually happened and we have won.
Yeah. Well, and that's that's something that we always try to tell people, because so many people undersell. They don't want to seem like they're greedy, so they don't want to put too much like out there or price it too high, because they're like, well, nobody's gonna back it, like they don't know me. But the point is putting a tier up and having no one back it doesn't do anything to you. It doesn't hurt your campaign at all, right?
Yes.
But if all you do is undersell everything, you're like, well, we'll put the book up for like $25 and then that's it, and that's all that you do, you're not giving people that have bankroll, that love your art, that love your storytelling, you're not giving them an opportunity to flex that at all. And it turns into, well, I mean, I got the book, but I don't want like 500 copies of the book, so I guess I paid $25 and that's all I got. So I always say, have at least one heavy hitter tier. And you guys did it really well, where you have this one and you have one that's a little bit more attainable for, middle class. And then you have like the awesome posters and everything like that, which I definitely know that I'm about to get some of. And I love it. Oh my gosh, you have so many cool people hanging out in the chat that are just loving your guys' stuff. This is so great. And then we've got a bunch of our standards, like our regular guys that come and hang out. We got Wooly, he's amazing.
So you got fans apparently in the UK. There you go.
You got fans all over. You got fans worldwide.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, see, even Max is saying if you did color it, it'd have to be super pale in order for all of that detail to show through. Same Frog G is saying that he loves the black and white.
Awesome. Oh wow, nice.
Wolverine, who's also an artist himself, is loving your guys' lighting effects, where everything just looks washed out because it's so bright. Honestly, this is a phenomenal looking book. So you guys are saying that you want to do 6. Are all 6 going to be 28 pages?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That will be consistent.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So you can actually follow Black Soul from book 1 all the way to book 6. So this is the full story arc. But within each book, right, there are, it's pretty much self-contained as well. So you can actually jump in. Let's say if you don't go in from book 1, right, if you jump in on, say, book 3, you won't be lost either. So it would start at some point where it's comprehensible. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's something that you guys are just hitting everything that I always gripe about. Like, I had people that in 28 pages, it's really hard to sell new characters and a full new world and everything like that, because it's not a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you guys are able to do it in a way where you can, like, here is a character, we're jumping in and following him, and then you kind of get to learn a little bit more about him as you go through the books. But you still feel like you get a full, complete, satisfying story in 28 pages. That is phenomenal. It's hard to do. It's very hard to do. But I have confidence that I think you guys can definitely pull it off, just looking at the quality of what you're producing here.
So that was the goal. So we took a long time planning this. It was, I would say, close to 5 years planning the entire thing, such that every single time you go in, you learn a bit more about the world, you learn a bit more about Black Soul, you learn, you meet new characters, but you still understand what's happening. And because the world is very complex, so we took a lot of care, right, with also explaining, or in a, I think in a quite a simple and a way, how the world works, like from like the weapons to the systems to like the political system, to the characters, to like little things. So you see that we've dedicated some of the pages to that aspect of it, and it builds. So it's not like a one-off where you read it and then that's it.
That and that's exactly what you need. Like, you need something that is going to feel satisfying each book, but that overall is going to give you a really good epic story.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question for you then is, how much of this book is completed and ready to go?
Okay, so currently book 1 is pretty much ready. So we're just making minor tweaks to it, so little bits and bobs to make it slightly better. Okay.
Yeah.
Book 2 is underway, so that's I would say 70% complete, and we already have the skeletons and the sketches for books 3 and 4.
Wow.
Actually,
So what?
And
Yeah, but five's really
like,
sketchy.
oh, I worked on 5 at lunch. I forgot to tell you.
All right.
But 5's like, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we plan to do is to roll out the entire series hopefully by this year. Yeah.
The whole series this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. How many? So, hold up. Okay. That's ambitious as shit. So you guys are you going to stay in demand when you hit your funding goal?
Yes, we probably will stay in demand when we hit it and continue from there.
Okay. How much time are you looking at as the goal? Because obviously once you start fulfilling, things might change, but how much time are you looking at in between books then? Are you like every other month?
Yeah, exactly. We're thinking between 2 to 3 months. So our goal is to get it done by year's end, but if not, it would be, I would say, first quarter, maybe early second quarter of next year. Yeah, that would be the longest.
So the latest we're looking at is probably April, maybe May of 2022 for the entirety, for all 6 of these books.
Yeah.
Good hell, that is really ambitious, but that's exciting to hear because you guys are so far ahead of the curve from where most comics are at this point. Although if you guys are looking to go that quick, I guess you're right on schedule.
Well, we spent about 3 years, arguing with each other like on a fortnightly basis over every single thing on every page. So we only launched. So it might seem like ambitious, but we only decided to launch it when we know we are able to pretty much able to keep up the pace and the speed. Because a lot of the difficult parts, right, the kinks have been ironed out in the last 3 years where there were real fist fights.
Okay, awesome. So when you guys do another launch, are we gonna launch you? Because it'd be nice for you to not have a soft launch. Normally, your most profitable days on a campaign tend to be your first 5 and your last 5. But that's only if people know that you have launched, and it's loud and out there. So if you don't have plans on whose channel you might want to hit the button and go live on, I'm just saying, cough, cough, Red Valkyrie, cough, cough. Just throwing it out there. See, I love it. Jerry Unbound. We just had Jerry on last night, and he's in the chat saying, don't do a soft launch, because that's what he did. And he sat at just under $300 for a couple of days because he did a soft launch and people didn't know that it was live. So definitely throwing it out there. And I know that Sai's muted because of this crab size roommates absolutely suck. and so they're being so loud that Cy can't talk.
So loud. Shut up. No, I side of me a phone ringing so damn loud, and then on the other side, my closest roommate just got a truck yesterday, so he's sitting there gunning the thing in the driveway, and I'm like, can I tase you or something?
Is he gunning it with his parking brake on? Because he's that kind of douche that would do that.
Well, I'm sure it's not in gear, but the point is, he's trying to show it off, and it's like, you bought it from a guy 2 houses down. We saw it then.
Oh my goodness. So Cy, are you in agreement?
I think this thing looks great, and as far as I'm concerned, they have your money. So I can't say they have my money because you buy for us.
That you are so eager to give my money away. That's amazing.
I indeed am. And
so
I just wanted them to know that they sold money for their project.
Say that one more time. They sold what?
They sold me on giving your money to their project.
Oh my gosh. If you couldn't tell who funds all of the comic purchasing for Red Valkyrie.
Okay, you have like 200 backings at this point. I think I have 2.
Yes, this is accurate. In fact, okay, so I don't know if anybody has backed since, and they have, holy shit, $4,047 US. So you guys are just under, or just a little bit more than 1,000 away from goal, which is awesome. And you have 25 days left, so you're definitely gonna hit it.
And I'm sorry, in between the explosions and killings, I wasn't able to make this out. Are you in your first 30 or your second 30? On Indiegogo, are you in your first? Are you in your first 30 days on Indiegogo, or have you already hit the button to extend it farther?
Oh no, we are on our campaign target timeline. So when we set the campaign, because we're based in Singapore, so clearly we targeted our homeland first, because that would be where people would, we have friends and there would be more support. Yeah, but our goal is to reach out to the European and American markets, and this is why we decided to go on Indiegogo, because I think a lot of people are on platforms like Indiegogo. Yeah. So we did a 6-week campaign. And what we did was we broke it down in terms of what we would do in terms, of trying to get it out there in the weeks. So we have a schedule in terms of how we're gonna do it, like in week 1, week 2, week 3. So for the first 2 days, you didn't hear anything from us because we were focused on back home in Singapore. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that you put the Indiegogo page, the timeline, you put for the amount of time that you are going to be live, period. So when this time ticks down, that's it. You're not going to extend, because you have the option to go 60 days with Indiegogo.
No, we're not going to extend. So we will. Yes. Feedback thus far, and we're very humbled by it. Feedback's been good. So I believe we will be able to manage the target. Hopefully. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys heard it here. They're going for the length of time they're up, and then once they hit their funding goal, and that time runs out, they're going in demand until I assume that your next project comes along. I can't believe you guys you're planning that many books that quickly. That's amazing.
It's unheard of. That is so awesome. So you're at 4077 now, by the way. Not that I did anything at all. Yep, I was just gonna say. So Frog G, and I know that we talked about this, but I think that it was something that was covered really fast, and so I want to make sure that we kind of let people know what you had said, because that is a calculated move. You guys know that you don't have shipping costs, so why don't you explain it one more time for people who got here late or who didn't understand?
So the price that you see online, so $19 USD for the book, includes shipping costs. So there's no extra shipping costs. So none of this money goes to us, because we've calculated how much it costs to ship to the US, as well as the production of the book. So the total cost goes to the production of the book.
So that, in other words, these guys are trying to be totally selfless and not make a dime off of at least this first book, which is insanity. So that goal that they have up there is nice and sweet, and we need to absolutely bust it, because we need you guys to get more money, and hopefully be able to make a tiny bit of profit there, even if it all just goes to the next book. We want to see you guys succeed. I want to see all 6 books for damn sure.
I'm sorry, Shae, did you talk about insane prices?
Yes, there's insane prices. Yep. The prices are crazy.
Yes.
So I really love this book. Sai, do you have any questions for them? You've been very quiet.
So what you're saying is I'm not pulling my weight. Do I have
Yes.
questions?
Precisely. That's exactly what I'm saying.
The audience needs to bail me out here. I mean, you guys have given such an amazing, pitch, and you've gone into the details so much, and I've just sat here and stared at this art, and hearing that this has been 5 years in the making. I mean, it shows.
It does.
I mean, just look at the gradients on the street from yeah, just keep scrolling, douche. I wasn't talking about that. Punk.
I'm sorry, do you want to run the show? Oh, that's right, you can't.
Right
Chromebook.
there. Right there. That is awesome. The city. Oh. I mean, this is some of the best artwork I've seen on any of the books we've had on.
This is by far some of the best artwork that I've seen, period, from an indie comic. So this is really encouraging. I'm fairly certain, as long as I know about them, launch on Red Valkyrie, that I'm going to be backing day one every time. I'm sorry, is that heavy-handed enough? Should I go a little bit more?
It was a little too subtle.
Oh, you should launch on Red Valkyrie for all the rest of the books. I'm just saying.
That was less subtle.
Okay. See, I'm working on it. I'm getting better. At the not as subtle. So here's the deal, right? We're at 37 minutes in, and I kind of refuse to end the stream right now, because this project needs more eyes on it, and I'm still seeing people that are randomly popping into our chat who got here late, because y'all don't know what an 8 o'clock start time means, so you showing up at 8:45.
It's us. We never start on time.
Shut up.
Even though you guys had like a week's notice with our schedule posted.
Look, I tried all the things to make sure you guys could get here on time. You still show up late. So guess what? I'm holding Somjai and Juliana hostage for a little bit, because this project needs more eyes on it. This project deserves a hell of a lot more recognition. Especially, I can't imagine somebody that I know in the States who wouldn't be like, yep, not my thing. 30-minute late notifications. Check our Twitter feed. Oh, you had a 15-minute or 30-minute heads up it was happening. So ha.
Plus,
anyway.
Once we went live, I retweeted it out and said we're live. Get your butts in here. Yeah, they have no excuses. They're just slow.
So, I want to know a little bit, like, how did you guys meet and come together for this project? Like, what brought the two of you together?
Okay, we've been partners for, I think, close to 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
So we started off in advertising. So Somjai is an art director and I was a copywriter. And we were working in advertising for, I think, collectively under 3 decades, I would say. Yeah, collective experience. So we did quite well as partners. So we won quite a few of the award shows together, like the Cannes awesome. And the Clios. Yeah. So we thought that it was a really good partnership professionally. And then from there, it just developed into a friendship. And then after a while, you get tired of the commercial world because you have so many restrictions and parameters. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the credits never, you can never truly create what you want to because there's always other stakeholders involved. Yeah. So we decided to leave advertising. So Somjai is creative director in, I cannot name the firm, right? We'll get yelled at, right? Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll never hear the end of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
I know them.
So we were planning this 5 years back, but it was actually about 3 years ago where both of us decided to take the plunge. So he was in another firm and I was in another firm, and we decided collectively that we're just going to quit together and focus on this, which we did.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
Yeah, believe in your dreams.
No, that seriously though, because you guys had like lucrative careers and everything, and you went, you know, while I have this career and I could keep doing this, and I'm obviously good at it because you guys are winning awards and stuff. I just like it because I want to have the creative freedom that I want to have, damn it, and they won't let me, so screw it. I'm quitting this, and I'm going to team up with a friend who feels the same way, and we're going to make the shit we want to make. And that takes so much faith and so much guts, and I'm so happy to see somebody do it and just be like, fuck it, this is what I'm doing. And to come out with something like this straight out the gate is phenomenal. So Silver has a question. He says, so the final tier is for the current book, but drawn into the second book. He just wants clarification.
Correct.
Fantastic. So you get the physical copy of the first book, the poster of the cover art, personalized thank you card, your name on the website for the honor roll, and then you're drawn into book 2.
And you can choose from 3 characters, right? Yes. Going to take this, yeah.
Yes, we can. The book when it's finished, I mean, given that backed us for 1,005 SGDs, well, we'll probably send that back the second book as well. It's not mentioned in the tier.
That's awesome.
You're getting distracted by the chat, I can tell.
I know. I got distracted by the chat, and then I'm staring at this, and I'm going I'm excited about everything that you guys want to give to the backers, and I also am sad because I want you guys to make a lot of money. So, everyone's freaking out about the mask. You know, Sai and I were talking about this, and forever ago, when I did my very first cosplay hat thing for one of these projects, afterwards I looked at it and I went, I can't do anything with this. Like, it's now forever this cosplay hat, and that's all that it is. And this is very much the same way because it is a mask, and it will stay a mask. So what we ended up doing with that hat is we offered it up as a cosplay tier on the campaign, and it basically covered just my cost and shipping as well as coming with a copy of the book. And so we don't have to answer now, but I'm just going to let you guys know that's a possibility, because I don't know what else I'm going to ever do with this mask, except maybe walk around and freak people out for COVID. That's kind of the only other thing I can think of to do, is just walk around and be like, hey, what's up? And just have them be like, yeah, can you
No, you get yelled at. It's not covering your mouth enough.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
I snorted.
I'm just saying, it's a versatile mask.
We can talk.
We're happy to put it on auction. We can discuss later, but very happy too. We think the mask is awesome, right? Actually, I was gonna ask, can I have it?
What? We'll talk, because I'm okay to ship this to y'all. I don't mind. I was making it, and I was talking to Sai about it, and Sai was like, you're putting a lot of care into this, like, as if you were going to sell it. And I was like, but I want it to be pretty on stream. And now I'm looking at it going, man, you can't even see half the stuff I did.
Well, you know what that means?
I made it so it looks
You're just
good,
too small.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, check that
Lean
out.
into the light.
Handmade metal.
Yeah, all the way to the nose crack.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah,
Cool.
we will definitely talk, because I don't have a problem sending it to Juliana. But if I do, you're gonna have to wear it on one of these shows.
The audience brings up a good point.
You gotta wear it for 5 more books. I don't repeat cosplays, guys. That's the thing. I refuse to repeat cosplays, so I'm gonna.
Well, Shae, we have more than one character.
Okay, good.
5 more masks.
It's fine. I'm just gonna need you guys to give me a heads up so I have time to build, because wow. Like 2.5
peek.
days. This was a lot. So just let me know ahead of time. Be like, hey, Shae, book 2, this is your character. And be like, ah, shit. Okay, I got it. I can do it. It's fine. Work on it for a month and have a 40-minute stream and be like, here's the new character that I'm now going to send to Somjai because he has to have it too. So Juliana will have one and Somjai will have one. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Froggy says Juliana can wear it for launch of book 2 on Red Valkyrie.
So we're all
no
master.
Yes, by the time we get to the end, even Alex will have a mask, and we will all just be masked up and be like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" Like, yeah, it's the last book.
Buy it, or we're
Yeah,
coming to your house.
So, is there any other little bits that you guys want to kind of let the audience know about for your book? It was pretty. It's a pretty streamlined campaign, but like in the future, what do you want to have by the time you're hitting like your last few campaigns of this with book 5, book 6? What sort of things are you hoping to have kind of go along with all of this?
Well, we, a plot for the second series is actually already in the works.
Oh wow!
We're also working with a few other talented people on a different story.
Okay.
And
but Somjai, I think that's for later on, right? But for now, we actually do have season 2 in the works. So if book 1 to 6 works out well for us, then we're gonna work on I would say a season 2 under the Automartyr series. We would do that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're really having like we're having different trajectories in terms of where some of the characters could possibly go.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Hive world is quite large, so it's not isolated to one. Yeah, so we're exploring a couple of lines and parallels. We'll see.
That's exciting as hell. All right, and then so you guys, obviously, you're talking about you quit your ad jobs to do these kinds of comics and books and storytelling. So you have things outside of Automartyr that you're wanting to eventually look at. Maybe a year or 2 years down the line, after this is kind of completed.
Correct. Our focus is on this first, and then the second season, if this works out well. But we also have a few other pockets of things here and there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And any chance that you're thinking kind of down the road that you're going to end up having like a swag tier or anything that has, maybe pins, patches, t-shirts, like things that are at least easy to kind of ship flat, because I know you guys are shipping from Singapore, so obviously that's a deterrent to putting too many things in.
Yes.
We have designed. We have a couple of like an entire swag pack. So things like patches, pins, stickers. But we didn't want to put it out there at the start because it gets a bit noisy, and we don't want to put all that swag out there, and then we only have 20 supporters, and that would be very sad.
Yeah.
So
no.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we reckon we'll build maybe a small audience first, and then see what is it that they would like, and then cater the swag pack to what they would like to have. I think that's better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good way to do it, and I definitely think that you could even put them on Indiegogo kind of like as add-ons, and so somebody could back like the main book and everything can be pretty straightforward, and you can even have a book with a swag pack that has everything, like if you had stickers, bookmarks, patches, whatever the hell you have, and so they could get the book in that, or you could have it where they could get individual parts of it on the add-on tiers, which means that they can get kind of a build your own tier without cluttering up your page, because that would all happen after they click the tier that they want. Before they go to the confirmation page, there's another page that would pop up for add-ons. And so then they can be like, like you can say, all right, we have patches as a thing. We have stickers as a thing. We have t-shirts as a thing, and they're individual items. You can have those show up before they hit the confirmation page as, do you want to add on a t-shirt? Do you want to add on a sticker? Do you want to add on a patch? Do you want to add on a button? And they can click whichever ones they want, and it'll just tally up the total and then takes them to their confirmation page for them to finish it out. So that might be a good way for you guys to look at doing some cool swag and stuff for book 2. The books after. But the reason I ask is because the artwork is so beautiful and detailed. I would personally love to have something like that on a t-shirt, and be able to kind of have, wear that around and have people see that, because it looks really metal. Like if I had something like that and I kind of distressed the t-shirt and wore it out, like people would be like, holy crap, where did you get that? And be like, oh, it's this really cool indie comic book that you probably haven't heard of. You should definitely check it out. It's amazing. And then that's a little bit more advertising for you as well. But it's also it's a little bit of fan service, because, who doesn't love wearing a t-shirt with gorgeous art that can literally go with anything, even though it comes from a comic book?
Oh, no.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I have to make this special mention to another art guy I'm working on with this, John Lowe. I mean, I just want him to know that he's an important part of our team.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, I work on the pencils, pretty much on the pencils, and he does the finishes. So if he's watching this, at least he saw this. It's for him.
Is he texting you, Somjai? Like, hey, me. What about me?
No text from him yet.
Well, you text him and be like, I gave you a shout out on the show we're on, just so you know.
Yes.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Also, I'm looking at, because we didn't actually cover this, your stretch goals. They're really, really exciting. So you have 1500, you get spot UV finish, which I always love, because it just adds that level of kind of cool to everything. At 2500 or 25,000, you have the cover being upgraded to glow in the dark.
Yes, which my partner prefers.
I really want to see glow in the dark cover of Automartyr. I think it's going to be terrifyingly awesome, and I'd let it sit out and charge.
I've been talking this whole time and I was muted.
I'm such a jackass. Go ahead, Cy. Let's hear what you got to say.
I was going to ask about the stretch goals before you went through all of them. Are these Singapore dollars or US dollars that you're putting these figures in?
Singapore.
Since it doesn't convert.
Oh, shite. So that's actually less.
Okay. Yeah, when you change that.
No, that's good to know. Okay, so those are Singapore dollars, which it means it's a little bit less than what we're thinking of for all of us Americanos over here. And I love that you did your variant cover at 66,600. That is such a good nod. This is such a good nod to what you've already established.
It's for fun.
It's the number of the beast.
Yes, which is prevalent in here. Because I remember reading it and I saw the 666 and I was like, the what now? Like, oh geez, I'm going to read this with a rosary just to be safe.
It's a unit of killers, transhuman killers, which Black Soul was originally a part of.
Yeah, that. I mean, they sound terrifying just by the name. Does that? I feel like the name was a very good choice to make them very terrifying in what.
Yeah, they are terrifying. I think the individual designs, right, for the characters of the 666, well, they're complex. Somjai's done so many of them, but they all have this very scary, eerie, hellish like outlook to them.
Much, yeah.
Yes, strikes fear in my heart. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm gonna have to see all of these and just start making a bunch of different masks.
Well, yes. I mean, you have to send some to all of us so that we can do it for book 2.
Yeah, actually, the cover for book 2 is already up on our website, so it's not up on Indiegogo, but because it's gonna go up on Indiegogo real soon, like in March. So the cover is already done, so we could actually flip that over to you, and then you have to make a second one.
And then I will have a couple of weeks to go through and make another mask. I will do it too. I'm gonna be so good at masks by the end of this. Yeah. It's gonna be.
See, Shae, they're trying to help you.
Yeah, they're helping me by challenging me with some of the most difficult shit I've ever built, which is exciting. Actually,
it's
incredibly exciting. All right. Do you have any other questions for them, Alex? Because this, I mean, just go back this. Like, just.
We have another artist in our chat. God damn it. That one.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Death Metal Hero, that's our buddy. That's like a brother to us, Luke. It says the artwork is gorgeous, and wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly agree. This artwork is just phenomenal. So I want to say thank you to everybody hanging out in the chat. Thank you guys for coming by. Especially we had quite a few new people who stopped by. You guys are awesome. Mm-hmm. We appreciate coming out and supporting Juliana and Somjai, because they're doing fucking amazing shit right now. And we definitely need to make sure that not only you guys get funded, but I want you guys funded well, because I want to see all 6 of these books come out. And you guys have a crazy fast timeline, which is really exciting as well.
Yes, and thank you for all the viewers who have backed it. Thank you for all of our viewers who are going to back it tomorrow, since tomorrow is, Friday, payday for most of our people. Yep. So do not be surprised when you see that number jump tomorrow, once everyone gets their bank deposits.
Or potentially next Friday as well. I know that's if you're being paid twice a month, that's usually your payday. So if people don't have it now, they might have it in 2 weeks. But I don't think you guys are gonna have a problem getting funded at all. Not at all. You're so close. You're $1,010 away, and that's it. With 25 days
and you're like 5 seconds into your campaign, so
yeah,
you got it.
Well, I want to say thank you both so much for hanging out with us. This has been an absolute joy, and it's already done deal. We're having you on whether you want to come back or not. I'll find you guys and make you come back on for book 2, book 3, book 4.
No, I mean, thank you for having us. We really appreciate this. This is quite a cool show, and the time you spend on that mask. It's wow. You are the first. It's really it's a lot for me. It's very cool. It's very
well.
Cool.
Thank you. I'm so glad that that you guys like the mask, that I did your art justice, because I really tried.
Love it. Love it.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much to my co-host. I know that you had to be muted for most of the show because your roommates suck, but thank you.
Yeah.
For leading up to this.
Well, thank you for bearing with me through all of this. He's currently undressing in front of me, so that's awesome. Jesus. How much to hire the hit squad from the book to come take care of my roommates?
Oh, heaven help us. And of course, thank you everyone who's going to watch on replay. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Go back. Automartyr, there is no reason not to. And they're busting their tail ends. They're going to have 6 books out to us, just one right after the other. That's amazing. That's something that I haven't seen somebody successfully do, and that's something that I wholeheartedly believe that this duo is going to do. Like, you guys are pros in advertising. This isn't anything new to you. Too much. I mean, it's fulfilling a comic, but the idea of tight deadlines and meeting them is pretty much what you've been doing for decades. So
yeah, but it is our first comic though, so we're actually very lots of nerves. Yeah.
Totally understand. I have yet to put any of my stuff out because I'm terrified. So I totally get it. But I think that you guys are doing great stuff, and I really am excited to see all 6 of these books come out. So thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you everybody for chilling with us, and we will see you all tomorrow for a quick stream before a longer stream.
For 2 streams, yes.
That's what we do apparently now. All right, thank you guys so much. We will see you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.